What's up, everybody? My reviews of the Star Wars films continues with Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. So The Empire Strikes Back was released 3 years after the original Star Wars movie in 1980, and the film is also set 3 years after the events of Star Wars A New Hope. So the original Star Wars movie exceeded all expectations when it was released in 1977. It was a cultural phenomenon. It became the biggest franchise in Hollywood at that time. So because of its revolutionary effects on the industry, George Lucas decided to completely finance The Empire Strikes Back from his own money. $33 million from loans and his own money, he financed this movie. He wanted to become independent from the Hollywood filmmaking scene, and Lucasfilm was created from this movie. And not only that, he did not direct this movie himself. He actually brought on Irvin Kershner, one of his good friends, to direct The Empire Strikes Back. And he even handed over the screenwriting privileges to other reliable people that he had knew in the industry. So now The Empire Strikes Back actually had a new team of people to come on board to help create this film. A collaborative, brilliant team to help craft one of the greatest movies ever made. Like I said, The Empire Strikes Back is set 3 years after the original Star Wars, and it sees the villainous Darth Vader and the Galactic Empire, which is led by him and Emperor Palpatine, on the search for Luke Skywalker. Specifically, they're on the chase for Han Solo, Princess Leia, and others who accompany them, while Luke goes away and studies the ways of the Force and the Jedi Mastery from the Jedi Master Yoda, who was introduced in this film. So eventually it comes to be that Luke must decide his fate. He must choose whether to become a full Jedi Master from his training from Yoda, or to go save his friends when they're captured by Darth Vader. And from there we get the epic, and most probably significant movie scene in history. We find out that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. That was the really heavy scene of this movie. That was really the big catch, the most significant and most historical moment that had happened in the franchise all the way up until that point. And it set off shockwaves throughout fandom and the Star Wars universe. It has so many implications behind it, and that is one of the reasons why this film completely surpassed its predecessor. But that's not the only reason. The Empire Strikes Back surpasses the original Star Wars movie in so many ways. I mean, it's really surprising to look at how much the industry had grew from the 3-year gap between Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back. And the industry grew in exponential ways. The visual effects, the score, the character development, the set design, the costumes, the makeup, everything had took such a leap because of the strides that George Lucas and his team made with the original movie. I mean, it was really in this film that Darth Vader seriously cemented his legacy as one of the greatest film villains in all of movies. Not only that, we got the introduction of another iconic character that is so often imitated and duplicated in so many different areas of pop culture. We got the introduction of Yoda in this movie. The romance between Han Solo and Princess Leia was deeply developed in this movie as well. But I mean, like I said, everything about The Empire Strikes Back escalated the entire Star Wars franchise to an entirely new level. The effects had gotten a lot better from Industrial Light and Magic. They became an even more flourishing company because of the work that they did on this movie. John Williams, probably the greatest movie composer of all time, crafted the Darth Vader theme, which was so resonant throughout the entire movie and had so many themes and so much pounding force that it just existed within this movie. Like, it was such a menacing theme that was so appropriate for a villain like Darth Vader. And I mean, like I said, even with the filming and the sets, the movie had so many sets. I think there was like over 60 sets, and the costumes, everything had just grew exponentially. The universe that was introduced in the original Star Wars had gained so much momentum, and it grew even larger with this movie. The introduction of new characters and places and universes and galaxies and species, everything had just grew about the Star Wars franchise. I mean, it cannot be said enough. The Empire Strikes Back is better than the original Star Wars. It hands down is the best Star Wars movie made up until this point. And you know what, honestly, it's likely to never be surpassed. That's just the reality of it. And when you talk about the greatest movie sequels of all time, this is probably at number one. Like, seriously, it is what really created the trend of having sequels and franchises, because of the ability to potentially surpass your original. I mean, at that time in Hollywood, franchises weren't really a thing. Star Wars made it a thing. They made franchises and sequels a thing. And honestly, for better or for worse, it's a good thing. We've gotten terrible sequels in many different franchises, but we've also seen some franchises flourish because of their ability to expand on their universes. And that's what The Empire Strikes Back did. back in 1980. And for that and many other reasons, this movie also gets a perfect 10 out of 10. I gave the original Star Wars movie a 10 out of 10, not because of the actual quality of the movie, but just the cultural and historical significance it's had. Quality wise, this gets a perfect score. I mean, it's really a masterful film. It's such an epic space opera that just has so many different themes about world religions and conflicts and just everything. It's just so great. If you haven't seen The Empire Strikes Back, again, I feel sorry for you because you're missing out. It's an epic movie. Alright folks, that's all I got for my review of The Empire Strikes Back. Go check out my other reviews of each Star Wars movie on my YouTube channel. Also, follow me on social media, JRW the Creator, and then go check out my website, jordanrwilliams.com, and I will see y'all next time.